Hi, and welcome to the second video of the literature for the course Development of Social Relationships. In this video I'll be discussing and summarizing the article Close Social Ties and Health in Later Life, Strengths and Vulnerabilities. So this part is about later life as opposed to infants in the previous videos. I accredited the right people this time in the PowerPoint slides, the actual authors of this article, which I did wrong in the previous video. I also prepared more for this one, so I hope it goes a lot more smoothly now. The effects of close social relationships on health have a magnitude comparable to smoking, alcohol consumption, obesity, and physical inactivity. Being socially integrated and having access to social support is related to better physical health. Being socially isolated and lonely are related to worse physical and cognitive functioning and earlier mortality. Social ties provide strengths and vulnerabilities. This article explores this duality. It provides an overview of two streams of research. The first one emphasizing age group comparisons and finding evidence of distinct strengths in older adults' social relationships, and the other emphasizing variability among older adults and identifying vulnerabilities in their social relationships. Some areas of strengths that are talked about is that older adults frequently report greater satisfaction with their social networks than younger adults. This is a result of the way that older adults structure their networks. They tend to shrink throughout life, letting go of casual acquaintances and other peripheral social ties. They have fewer but more emotionally close social relationships. These changes are predicted by the social emotional selectivity theory. As people grow older and their time left in life is getting shorter, they shift their priorities toward emotional goals. Interacting with only close social network members is prioritized. It provides emotional and health-related benefits, evokes more positive memories, and are more strongly related to important aspects of an older adult's health. Older adults engage in relationship regulation strategies. This is to maintain well-being to a greater extent than young adults do. Overall, they experience fewer conflicts and experience these as less negative. Also in marriage, older adults tend to rate their partner's behavior less negatively. They are more likely to seek to diffuse the situation as opposed to engaging in it. Where younger adults might opt for passive techniques, older adults report greater use of active problem-solving strategies. According to research, this avoiding of or diffusing of conflicts might benefit older adults, providing a greater emotional benefit. Older adults' preference for more rewarding social ties and avoiding potential conflicts might explain the increase in relationship satisfaction. It also explains why perceptions of social support become more favorable with age. Once again, this quality of social relationships is related to a range of physiological processes and health outcomes. Examples of this are immunological and cardiovascular functioning, later chronic illness onset, and mortality. Some areas of vulnerability are discussed. Limits exist on the availability of close social ties in later life. Your ability to cultivate and maintain close social ties depends on your early life experience that have shaped your attachment styles, coping skills, and broader social competencies. The theoretical model of strength and vulnerability integration proposes that when older adults are unable to avoid a high distress social situation, they are likely to experience arousal that challenges their aging systems. It compromises their physical and emotional health. Negative interactions are less common, but have potent effects on health. Frequent negative exchanges are related to worse health across multiple domains. These findings have emerged in many studies, all adjusted for a broad range of factors. the negative exchanges have been found to outweigh the health-enhancing effects of positive exchanges, although there are some exceptions. Persistent conflicts are the most detrimental to health. The cumulative physiological toll of chronic negative interactions damages physical health by disrupting cardiovascular, endocrine, and immune functioning. Ambivalent social ties are also detrimental. If a social tie has both positive and negative patterns, and they are found to link to poor psychological health. Having a large number of ambivalent social ties is even worse for accelerated aging than a large number of negative social ties. This effect is not unique to older adults. The likelihood of experiencing persistent conflicts is contributed to by several factors. Stressful life events, sensory impairments, they contribute to communication difficulties, which can strain a social interaction. Certain personality traits, like being very neurotic. Dementias that are associated with a loss of inhibitory control, which in turn also leads to poorer social behavior. And childhood adversity increases the risk of neglect by caregivers and exposure to interpersonal conflicts. It sows the seeds of mistrust and leads to relationship difficulties. The loss of close relationships. Losing spouses and friends is a common experience and unfortunately cannot be avoided. The health effects of the loss of a spouse are most pronounced in the first 6 months after a spouse's death. Effects can be very physical, examples being acute cardiac events, higher rates of illness, and more hospitalization, and an increased risk of mortality. Reorganizing social lives over time happens with the loss of a spouse, because it is often the loss of the most important source of support and companionship. Widowed individuals have to look for new sources of support and companionship, which often happens to be their adult children. It's not very clear how new interactions enhances the morale of a widowed individual. New relationships may require considerable time to solidify before benefits for emotional and physical health materialize. The loss of a key close relationship might be somewhat irreplaceable. There's also not much known about the bereaved individual's attempts at reorganizing their social lives. The article also states some future prospects. The two perspectives mentioned in the beginning of the article, so strengths versus vulnerabilities, provide complementary insights into the health-related implications of older adults' relationships. More research into integrating these two would be of great value. People are only getting older and older, so understanding how their social partners affect their health has gained a sense of urgency. How the increasingly better education influences health in combinations with social ties is also a question that needs to be answered. And what is the influence of the ever-changing family patterns, considering higher divorce rates and remarrying rates? Many questions that need to be answered, and many more research that has to be done in the future. That was the end of the article. Yep. A short one, and quite easy to summarize one. Again, I was still not completely on it with getting these slides to work in time, but I still hope this was insightful. I hope this helps you study, and thank you for watching.